Hey, this is Ken at Capital Advantage Tutoring, and I'm going to go through the option Greeks. I'm going to go through the whole Greek, but lucky for you, I'm not going to go full Greek, and I'm going to keep my clothes on. This video will give you a basic understanding of all the different Greeks between like delta, theta, vega, gamma, all that stuff. All the stuff, a basic understanding of how to handle this when you have a conversation. It's not going to help you trade options, but it'll give you a nice base understanding if you go all the way to the end. So if you're coming here from studying for the 66 or the 7 or the Series 65, you're going to see some common things that you didn't know had a Greek term for it. And that's going to be interesting. It's worth watching. So the first thing we're going to talk about is delta force. Delta is how much, and I'll show an example, how much an option moves for every dollar that the underlying asset moves. So again, delta is how much the option price will move for every dollar that the underlying asset will move. That's very easy. It sounds confusing when people talk about it, but it's very easy. Let's go. Okay, so delta is how much an options premium will move for every dollar the stock moves. Okay, so if you have a delta of 40, it's really 0.4, but we say 40. Your delta of 30, it's really 0.3. So let me put that in there to make it clear that a delta of 40 is really a delta of 0.4. So what that's saying is that for every dollar that the stock moves, the premium will move 40 cents. That's what a delta of 40 means. So easily done is that if you have an XYX, with a delta of 40, XYS is a 45, it goes to 46. That means our premium will move up by 40 cents of that. So then we will move up to 240. It's that simple. That's delta. Delta is literally just how much the premium of an option will move based on the movement of the stock, based on a dollar movement on the stock. Now we have negative delta. That would be for a put. That means if the stock went up, let me try that. Okay. So let's say we have a put and we have a delta of negative 40 because it'd be negative for every dollar that the stock went up. So say we went from 55 to 56, this would go down by 40 cents because it's getting away from being in the money. So that's why it's opposite. Remember, so a negative delta is when the stock goes up, then the put goes down. And that's just negative delta. It's pretty simple, I think. I mean, if it isn't, let me know in the comments. Tell me I'm an idiot for making it, trying to act like it's simpler than it is. Now I'm going to go back to the call one. Okay, we're back to the regular delta. Now, as the stock rises, it gets closer to the strike price, which means closer to in the money. The delta will move. The amount of this, we know the premium moves based on the delta, but the actual delta will rise. It'll get higher and higher because we're getting closer to in the money. Remember, the closer something is in the money, the more the option premium will move. So eventually, once the stock goes in the money, which is above the strike price, in this case, it'll have 100 delta, which means it'll move with it. But the question is, how much does the delta move for every dollar that the stock moves? Well, that's called gamma. Okay, so now how do we measure how much the delta will move? Well, the gamma is how much the delta will change for every dollar move in the stock. So again, so here I put down gamma of 0.05. That means for every dollar that the stock moves up. Now, these numbers are wrong because if it got that closer to go to 100, but for every dollar that the XYX goes up, the delta will go up by 0.05. So let's say the XYX went up to 46. So I'm using easy numbers so I can handle that. This will go up to 45. And if it went, and that's what happens. And then if this went to 47, this would go to 50. That's how it would go. Now that's why it'd be wrong because I'd have to get to 100 by 50. But that's how gamma works. Again, so delta is how much the premium will change for every dollar move in the stock. Gamma is how much the delta will move for every dollar move in the stock. And you have to use all these things if you're actually going to trade options. But again, I'm going to put the link for the book, The Options as a Strategic Investment. It was a classic. It was a classic when I was in the 90s and early 90s, which is Hammer and Stone on that options as a strategic investment will teach you all this stuff if you really want to learn this. This is literally so that when somebody talks about it in a passing moment, you can go, oh, I know what that is. Not that you can do. Okay, the next one, so we have delta, we have gamma, we have theta. Theta, theta, bo beta, me, my, mo, beta, theta. Okay, I don't know why I did that. But theta is how much the premium will decay over time. So if the stock doesn't move, remember, time value is a thing, and this is what we're talking about. Time value is how much the option is worth given a certain amount of time. So let's say it's November right now. I bought a March call. That's November, December, January, March. I missed February. I hate February. November, December, January, February, March. So that's 5 months of time for something to happen. So that's time value. Now, theta measures how much that drops for every day. So for every day that I own the option, I have less. So if I own the option now, I have 5 months. But if I own it for a month, I now only have 4 months left. So every day, so what is 4 months is 120 days. So at the end of December, I have 120 days, and then 119, and then 117, and 15, 14, all the way down until it expires. So theta will measure how much that premium will drop each day if the stock doesn't move. Remember, stock moving affects the premium, but let's say it doesn't move at all. Theta will measure how much that will lose every single day. That's what theta is. So this is important. So like I buy options like 2-3 weeks out, right? So I know that I either have to have a big move within a couple days or I have to get out of it. Because if I buy, like I just bought NVIDIA options, right? I just bought NVIDIA calls. I saw it drop a lot, so I was hoping to make a little money. And what happens is if the stock doesn't pop within a few days, then what happens is I start losing, my premium starts dropping because every day I get closer to the expiration date when the option's no longer any good, I'm losing value. There's less time. So right now I buy the December 20 calls, it's end of November, 11/29, right? So if I buy 2 o'clock in the morning, if I buy December 29 calls, I think I bought, I have 29 days for something good to happen. But every day that I own it, there's less chance. So this is what theta is doing, measuring how much it'll drop each day. So I have to use that in my math and go, okay, at some point I just got to cut and run, right? Because it's not going to work. Even if it moves, it'll be so far out of the money that even if the stock popped, it's too late. So I have to measure that. Usually when I buy an option like this, I hold it for like a day or two and then get out of it, because if it either happens or it doesn't, and the longer I hold it, I keep losing money because the premium will drop every day. Every day you own it, if the stock doesn't move, which usually my stocks don't fucking move, if it doesn't move, the theta will kick in, it's measuring it, and the premium will start decaying over time. That's losing time value. Now, if you're taking the 7 to the 65, you remember that from time value decaying. This is what this is. Theta measures this. There's no math on that, and not for us. We're too dumb. And finally, of the last of the Greeks, we have Vega. No, not the woman singing Luca. It's Vega. It measures the options price change based on implied volatility. Now, in English, that means if you have two different stocks, they have different volatility, their premiums will be different. So here's my example of this. Tesla's not at $50, but let's say both Tesla and Gillette were trading at $50. Now, again, this could be on the 7, not the word. This could be on the 65, not the word Vega, but the idea, the implied volatility. Now, Tesla, because this is all about time value, Tesla trading at $50, let's pretend it was, and Gillette, which makes razors, right? So Tesla is exciting, as you have Elon Musk going up and down and saying shit and buying X and going all over the place, right? So Gillette doesn't. What do? They put a 5th blade on their razor. That's very boring. So both stocks are trading at $50. So Vega measures the implied volatility. Oh my God, I can't speak. The implied volatility, and shows that the Tesla calls, even though the both stocks are the same and the strikes are the same, Tesla will have a higher premium because of the implied volatility. Tesla could move 5, 10, 15, 20 points in a week, where Gillette will move like 50 cents. Because again, Tesla's exciting and moving and growthy, where Gillette is just kind of like, yeah, we're just going to stay the course and keep adding blades and make shaving cream. So Vega measures the implied volatility of different options, okay? And they come up with the premium. So this is what Vega is. I'm going to say the word Vega a million times because I like the word. It's just showing the difference between two stocks, just say, it doesn't even have to be two stocks, just in general, how volatile the stock is, and the premium will reflect that. So Vega reflects how volatile a stock is in the premium. Okay, so here's our recap. Delta, how much an options premium will move with every dollar in stock price movement. Gamma, how much the delta will move or change with every dollar in stock price movement. Theta, beta, how much the option premium will decay for each day you own it. And Vega measures the options price change based on implied volatility. So again, delta, how much the premium will move. Gamma, how much the delta will move. Theta, how much the premium will drop every day you own it. And Vega is how volatile a stock is, how much it affects the premium. Those are the Greeks you need to know. Again, very basic, very high level. find this book, Options as a Strategic Investment. If this interests you, there's a lot of videos out there that go in a deeper dive than this. I'm literally too dumb to do the deep dive. I just do this to help you guys out so you have something to talk about. Look, you all have a good night, and I'll see you.